To get some people in here on this for this major news, the acquisition of Johnson Window Films into the Madico family. So, um, cool, man. Well, how's everything been? And catch me up with last time I saw you was Tenor Battles 2026 January, which is a great show. Everybody got a lot of positive feedback on it. Still working through the content. We got so much stuff coming out of it, man. We're still like what 3-4 weeks removed, and I still haven't gone through everything that we captured. So it's just getting released out. But how's everything been since then?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for all the work you put into Tenor Battles. I think it was a huge success this year. Everyone that was there had a great time.
Yeah.
As a sponsoring company, there are a lot of events out there, and Tenor Battles is just so much fun to be a part of. And
Thank you.
all that content that comes out from it, people just love seeing it. And I know I have a bunch of stuff that I took that I haven't even touched yet, because of course we've been very busy since then.
Yeah.
During Tenor Battles, we didn't have anything in terms of publicity or public announcement about the potential of Madico purchasing Johnson Window Films. Of
Yeah.
course, it was in talks, and I actually flew from Tenor Battle straight to Florida to go see their factory and make sure things were all continuing in that regard. So it's been a lot of work. It's been a very busy few weeks, and I'm looking forward to talking about it and going through some of the stuff in looking forward with how Johnson and Madico are going to be working together.
Well, so if those that are joining, if drop a comment, see if everything is good on your end. But I wanted to ask you, when did the conversations like initiate? Was it Johnson reaching out first, or is it Madico saying, "Hey, we like what you guys are doing"? Who was the one that started, who sparked up that idea?
Yeah, so it actually has come together pretty fast. I think we were the ones to technically reach out, but I know on the Matico side, they had been kind of eyeing us as well. Uh, Both sides really feel like it's a really good match in how we do business. And in getting to know the people at Matico through this process a bit more, I
Yeah.
really feel like it is a really awesome fit in how Johnson Window Films has always done business, how we treat our customers, and how Matico uh, does business. It really felt like a very similar company when I got to tour their facility. And my dad obviously has been in the industry a very long time. And when he was thinking about reaching out to some other companies about maybe merging or doing something about the future, there weren't a ton of companies that he felt super comfortable going to with an idea. But Matico was probably top of the list, that he felt like the people there, the management there, and the people he's known were the right people to partner with.
So, well, like from this, like a lot of questions were raised about like, why the acquisition. So for from Johnson's perspective, what was the sentiment or the search, that an acquisition solved for you guys?
Yeah, so the list is pretty long, and
Okay.
why something like this would come about, right? It's never one reason,
Hmm.
but I'll try to remember as much of them as I can and go through it. A lot of it is really about the future. Some of it is about what's happening currently in California, and not to throw any shade to California. I love living in California. It's an amazing state, but doing business in California over the years becomes harder and harder with government regulations, political pressures, uh, costs of things. One thing on the cost side is the refineries in California that are closing is where we get some of our raw materials. And we felt like looking ahead with those closing, what's that going to do to the cost of our solvents that we put into our adhesives? So that's part of it, is just California has a lot of pressures on the manufacturing side. It's not really the best industry to be in. And I think me and my dad both felt like if we were starting from scratch with this manufacturing side, there's no way we would start it in California. Uh,
Mm.
So that kind of gets the thoughts ticking. And when we look to the future too, my dad has been doing this a very long time,
Yeah.
and he would talk to me candidly about the future and what I wanted to do. And I didn't feel like I was as capable as he has been in running the manufacturing side in the future in California. My dad has put in more work than anybody could ever know to run this company fully. And so that becomes that conversation about like, all right, do we want to stay in California manufacturing long term? Then from
Yeah.
there, you kind of start looking at, all right, well, we could try to move the equipment and manufacture somewhere else. What would that look like? And we look at our equipment, and there's some restrictions there. We can only do 60-inch web widths. So 72-inch film has become more and more popular and necessary as glass has gotten bigger.
Yeah.
So, looking at that, all right, we could spend millions of dollars moving this equipment, but there's still these limitations of it. A lot of the pieces of the equipment are also from when my grandfather was running the company. And we have maintained it amazingly, and we can do awesome stuff with
Yeah.
it. But just again, looking at the next 10 years, is that really what we want to set up? So, with all that in mind, then we start looking at, all right, maybe we should look elsewhere in the industry and see if there's a good partner for us. And again, Madico was really the first company that we went to because we felt like it was such a great fit in how we do business.
And what was it like about Madico? Like, what stood out to you guys? Like, what was the some of the things that aligned? Because I noticed in one of the posts that we broke on the Tenor Battles page with the Madico set to acquire Johnson, Madico themselves responded to saying something. It was a partnership built on like mutual respect and those kinds of things. What were some of the elements with the Madico company that you guys liked that aligned with what you guys were wanting to do?
Yeah, so that really goes back to kind of what I mentioned about how they run their company, how they treat their employees. They really feel when we met with them, and Scott, again, has known their management longer than I have.
Hmm.
And he's always felt like they ran their business, albeit they are a bigger business and a more corporate structure than our little family business, but it felt very similar in how we treated our employees and how we tried to take care of our customers. And we felt like that was a natural fit of the two companies coming together, and
Yeah.
that we would be able to get along in how we do business really well. I think there's some other companies that in how Johnson Window Films does business, it would be really hard to integrate and continue and have that continuity of business with some other people.
So it was like the culture, the environment of Madico is what you guys liked about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think another part is that it was really important when we thought, all right, if we did partner with somebody, uh, being made in the USA has been a huge part of who we are as
Mhm.
Johnson Window Films, and that was not something that we wanted to give up. So being manufactured in the USA was a huge part of it as well. But yeah, just the ability to have continuity and the respect in the industry that they had for us and that we had for them,
Yeah.
it led to what felt like a very easy fit.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions was if Johnson was going to continue under that brand or was it going to change over time? Was it going to get phased out? Because I know that was questions that some of the Johnson dealers were like, okay, well, what's going to happen to us long term? So I'm assuming it's going to continue. It's just living under the I guess the umbrella of Madico now.
Absolutely, yeah. So Johnson Window Films is going to continue with all the products that it has. It's going to be the business that it is. One of the great things that Madico has done in this process is all of our constructions and how we make the films.
Hmm.
They, have acquired our R&D, our formulas, our constructions, our vendors, and so the products are going to be using those same raw materials. They even have agreed to use the same materials in the flat glass films, the automotive
Mm.
films. So the product wise, it's still going to be that Johnson Window Films product that our dealers know and love and have chosen over time. And the other great part is that our sales reps and our customer service reps and all the people in Johnson Window Films that our customers have that relationship with and trust in how they get taken care of are
Yeah.
all staying as well. So when you
Okay.
call us, and you're going to call, not Madico, but call that same Johnson Window Films number, and the person that answers is going to be that person that you've continued to work with. We hope that the business and the continuity of everything is going to stay the same with some advantages that Madico can bring us. And I want to get into that as well as
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like,
yeah,
what kind of advantages does like this? It's a historic deal, but so what are the advantages to Johnson, and then advantages that would trickle down to the to some of the people or dealers that also use Johnson films?
yeah. So I think what's really great about this deal too is that there are advantages on both sides that we are going to get from Madico, and I think Madico is going to get some advantages from us, which is really a good feeling to say too, being a family business and feeling like you can bring some positive things that will benefit a larger corporation. So I'm really excited about that. I think off the bat, the first thing that Scott and I again looked at our business and what we would love to do is improving our distribution across the US. We
Mm,
have had a distribution center in California and one in Memphis, Tennessee to cover all of the US. And what is going to happen, and all these things again will happen slowly over the next
yeah.
several weeks,
Okay.
because we want to make sure that customers can still place orders and get their products, and we're not running out of stock on anything. And we want everything to be really nice and smooth. But what's going to happen is that our Memphis, Tennessee warehouse is going to get integrated into a couple of Madico's warehouses. So we're going to go into their Georgia warehouse. We're going to go into their Texas warehouse,
Wow.
and
Okay.
we're going to have a better coverage of the U.S., which I'm really excited about, because Texas and having a warehouse in Texas was kind of a big wish list point for us
Nice.
for the future.
So, like, and when you have more distribution points, I'm not in the distribution business, but I'm assuming when you have more distribution points, you're able to like ship products out faster. Is that like one of the advantages for having more distribution points throughout?
I think we've done a great job of having a relatively quick ship point. So if you called us
Yeah.
before 3 p.m. In California, we would ship your product that day. I think the big advantage, one, is stock and having it separated in 3 different locations. You can have a little
Um,
bit more backup across the country, but
mhm.
it's in how quick you get your film. So
Okay. Yeah.
from Memphis, it might take 3 days to get up to Maine or to get to the bottom of Florida. Some places like Wisconsin, just the further reaches, or on the
Yeah.
West Coast, only having that California. So this will allow pretty much everyone in the US to order ground track and get their film within 2 days, no problem.
Yeah, I misspoke on that. I meant to like, yeah, I had meant like getting the film quicker, not ship. Because I know shipping, you guys are on point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was getting the film quicker from the point that you order. So, okay, so that's one of the advantages that a lot of Johnson dealers can expect then is getting the product faster. And you mentioned having more availability because one warehouse might not have, but the other one might have it. Like that kind of.
Well, we want to make sure that each warehouse has, the products that are needed.
Yeah.
More deeper on the operation side, that when you have 3 locations, your safety stock numbers change,
Mm,
and it's easier to keep them filled.
yeah.
So it's going to be, I think, a great part just on the distribution side. Also,
Yeah.
you look at within the state of Texas, there we will have 1 day shipping for a lot of places that would have been 2 or 3 days before.
Got it. Okay, cool. So the other question that somebody had sent in here, I'll put it on the screen here. Could this move accelerate innovation or product development across the Madico portfolio? Madico also including now Johnson. Does this also create that kind of like accelerate innovations on either side?
Yeah, so for now, I want to be clear that Johnson Window Films products and Madico products are going to be separate.
Okay.
There's not all of a sudden you're not getting a Madico product in a Johnson box or vice versa. However, down the road, we have R&D projects going on, and we have different strengths and focuses where Madico had different strengths and focuses. I think one really cool thing about the two companies and what our focus has been is that for Johnson Window Films, about 65% of our sales have been on the automotive side. And I don't know the percentage in the Madico side, but they have been very strong and focused on the security and flat glass side. And our know-how of these two different sides of the business coming together, I think, is really going to benefit both sides.
Yeah.
In addition to that, Madico does have a very strong R&D department. They do have a lot of products, and I do hope that down the road there can be some advantages for Johnson Window Films in that regard. I think the one that I'm hoping for most immediately is just a simple one: availability of more of our flat glass films in 72 inch. Things like that. It could come, fairly quickly, but beyond that, we are keeping the products very separate, and we want to make sure that people know that the Johnson Window Films products are still going to be those same products that they've been used to.
So, like you mentioned, Madico was pretty strong on the flat glass side of it, and Johnson was a little bit more stronger on the auto side. So it's kind of like that combination of the two, like down the road, is gonna complement each other. Is what you're mentioning, right?
I think so. It's not that we're stronger on one side or not. I think it's just that percentage of our business. So more of our focus and like
Oh,
in the
okay.
market and how we work with those types of customers
Yeah.
has just been more of our focus. So we think that there's going to be some complements there in terms of brand and in terms of the customers that we have and how we interact and treat our customers.
All right, I've got a question here, and obviously, if you're not, don't answer the question if you don't want to. But someone here, we have a question. How much was the acquisition? Like, I guess they want to know what's the cha-ching number.
Definitely can't answer that one. Yeah,
I
sorry.
figured somebody had to ask, but there was another one here it's coming in here real quick. So, kind of on a broader perspective, just asking more of like your opinion on this is on a on a high level, like what does an acquisition like this signal about the current direction of the window film industry? Because there's a lot of consolidations that are happening, acquisitions that are happening, venture capital firms that are starting to like now get more involved. What do you think that this signals for the future of the window film industry?
I think I don't know that it signals anything about the future as much as it reflects what has been happening and where the current state of the industry is.
Mhm.
And there has been a lot of consolidation. It's been a lot of work for us as a small business to continue to be able to be a strong player in the market. And we've been able to do that from the quality of our products, our history, how we treat our customers.
Yeah.
But there are smaller parts of the business that we didn't necessarily have the resources to compete on the same level. Our marketing team is significantly smaller than some of these bigger companies like Eastman or XPEL or 3M or Madico. And for us to be able to tap into some of those resources that Madico has, and to help them and bring some support from our end as well, I'm really excited for what that can be. But there's definitely, I don't think it's even the window film industry. I think in the US, there's been a lot of consolidation all over the place. And we don't know that that means there's going to be more of it in the future. But I do think it's a bit reflective of where the industry is at in its current moment.
Yeah. We have a question here. David Carley, he says, was it a 100% acquisition of Johnson Window? I kind of want to ask one question before that. So in the announcements, it was announced that it was set to acquire Johnson, meaning I guess I'm assuming like it's the acquisition hasn't quite happened, but it's more of like it is going to happen. It just hasn't been official yet. Is that, or is it official already?
Yeah, so the announcement of it, not everything was fully finalized, but at this point, it is finalized. It's official. Madico has acquired Johnson Window Films.
There you go. Well, somebody popped the champagne.
Pop the champagne, exactly.
Yeah. So okay, now that question leads into this one. So it was a 100% acquisition of Johnson Window Films, like a full acquisition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% on what the details of what you mean by that question, but yes, they own Johnson Window Films.
Yeah, I guess like he was probably meaning like somebody retained owner, like if they bought into part of it, now they're like part
Oh,
owners or
yeah,
something.
maybe like did I get any
No,
yeah. No,
no, I mean
I
like,
don't.
do they
Madico owns
own?
100%.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was that. Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so based on what I've kind of pieced together so far, it's that it's Johnson is still Johnson. It's just now, kind of, now it's just, like we mentioned it earlier, Johnson is still Johnson Window Films. It's just part of the Madico family, and how that's going to play itself out down the road is still, it can still evolve itself. Right now it's still in its early initial stages. Johnson is still Johnson Window Films, and everything's still, at least like in the near future. Like if I misspeak, let me know. But in the near future, it seems like it's still going to kind of be business as usual, but the potential of down the road is whenever we're going to start to see the impact of it. Is that?
No, I think down the road, the absolute plan on both sides, Johnson Window Films is going to remain as Johnson Window Films. It is within this family of Madico, but the operations of it is you're still going to call Johnson Window Films. Our products are going to be Johnson
Yeah.
Window Films products. That's not going to change. So it's not a oh, they're keeping it for a few months, but then it's going to start moving into something else. Not at all. Johnson Window Films is going to stay fully Johnson Window Films for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean G. Tintman says, "Will Johnson name go away, or will Madico still use it in places?" And I think we answered that, right? You touched on that.
Yeah,
It's not going
Johnson
anywhere.
Window Films definitely isn't going anywhere. This is also, as I continue on with Madico, I'm leading Johnson Window Films. So you're not getting rid of me that easy.
So that would say that was the other question. So now you're the one taking on the reins now. So where does that leave your dad in the situation? Is he taking a step back now that the acquisition has happened, and you're stepping into that role now?
Yeah, so my dad really the last few years has been running the manufacturing side, and I've been running Johnson Window Films. So it really is a continuation of what's
Mm,
already been in place. There's really no change there,
yeah.
and I'm excited to continue running Johnson Window Films as the global business manager. So I'm definitely excited
Yeah.
for the next chapter. My dad is absolutely not just going away, riding off into the sunset right away. He is going to continue to be around. I think one thing that's important to everyone involved in this is that the products stay just at that high quality that everybody expects. And my dad's still going to be around to make sure that everything is running good and that quality's still there and the products are what our customers expect. And then he will eventually, as we go about and settle in here, his involvement will be less, and he is going to retire, which is pretty exciting.
So the reverse role would still be snapping at that bottom, like way the classic Johnson films do it, man. The like when the Black Lives Matter, people are just like snapping their film, and it's a reversal, and you hear that snap at the bottom, like that's when you've got like the liners really dialed in. So that's not going anywhere, which is good.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to ask you, so you mentioned that you were excited about this new role. Like, what are some things that get you the most excited about, like in the future now that there's this acquisition for you personally?
Yeah, so it's really exciting to me to be working with the people at Madico. I've been working with them on this over the last several weeks, and it is a really good team that they have over there. So for me to be able to work with the people in their marketing department and their sales department and on the manufacturing side and everybody else that's been involved in this, they have a really great team of people, not just good people, but they're really good at their jobs and they're really good at what they do. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be able to use them as resources and for them to help me grow Johnson Window Films and all the things that Johnson Window Films would love to do. I think over the last few years, I wear a lot of hats, being the family business that it is, and I'm excited for a bit more resources and the teams that they have there and the people that they have there are really awesome. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, man, I remember like so in the past times whenever we've had like conversations because you and I think we've met through doing tenor battles and getting the flat glass battle stuff from 2024. And I remember you always expressed like the family aspect of Johnson Window Films, and so like to see that and this acquisition is like it's pretty cool to see, like, there was that small time family feel, like, and I think about Christina as well, because Christina was she's been a person I've known, for a couple years now, and every interaction I've always had with her very positive, and even the last one that we had in Houston, like very very positive, and so it's pretty cool now to see like that there, even though it's going in, you guys are much part of a, like, Madico, like a bigger platform, it's still retaining that family aspect feel of what you guys have been very proud of throughout the years. um Steve Wood's down there. Steve Wood is he's a good buddy of mine. I met him in Tenor Battle of Amelia Island. He was one of the heat ring battle referees at the time. He's commenting since 1903. It's because
so Madico since
yeah,
1903.
that was the thing. And so we went to Amelia Island, and I ended up getting the crowd into, like, I would say Madico since 1900, and the crowd would finish 3, so it became a thing. That's why he's commenting that. So good to see you in here, Steve. Steve Wood is one of the people that I know from Madico. Jeffrey Plummer, he's a marketing, I believe he's the marketing head up there, if I'm not mistaken.
At Madico?
Yeah.
Jeffrey's been vice president at Madico. He is stepping into retirement. This is actually a little bit of a feather on his cap, getting this deal done and making sure he saw it through to the end. Nice. And Lawrence Constantine is the VP of Sales and Marketing for Madico.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I know some people. Steve Wood is he's the person I know best. And then Jeffrey Plummer, the Trent Courage, and a few of the other guys that are up there too. So that's pretty cool, man.
We have a lot of guys that have been in the industry a long time, a lot of experience, and that's another cool thing. 1903 for Madico, Johnson Window Films, 1973. So they do have 70 years on us, but we both have over 50 years in the industry and making products like this. So there's a huge amount of knowledge going and being combined into this.
Yeah, I got a little Tinter trivia for you. So in 2023, when we had a Tinter battles, I came up with like a concept. It was kind of a game show. But the concept was it's kind of like Family Feud, where you had like questions about the industry itself. There was one that I discovered, and I asked people, and not many people know this, so it's okay if you don't. But Madico didn't start off as a film company; started off as a different company. Do you know the original name for what Madico stood for?
Oh, no, I don't. I should learn this though.
It's okay. It was I'm gonna have to double check myself now, but it's Materials Distribution Company, aka Madico. Materials Distribution Company is what they were known for. And I don't think they didn't start off doing films. I think they started off doing something else. I'm still off the top of my head, but
1903 had to be. There wasn't a lot of demand for automotive window film in 1903.
That was window film was what, 60s when it started to come out, around there?
Yeah, I just know on the Johnson laminating coating side that my grandfather started. He started Johnson packaging in early 1960s.
Yeah.
And we started making window film in 1973 as a product. So I know we didn't invent it. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit before 1973 that window film got started.
1973, 1903. I feel like I'm gonna remember that for sure. Somebody left a comment. Oh yeah, there you go. So Jessica Stewart said leather postcard. Steve Wood says leather greeting card. So there you go. I knew it was something leather related because I remembered that part of it. But interesting, cool. Tinter trivia there for you.
Sorry, Carlos, my headphones cut out for a second.
Okay.
I got a phone call and my headphones switched. I'm sorry.
You're good, man. You're good. It's so yeah.
All right, airplane mode set. Won't happen again.
You're good, man. Yeah, so it was leather postcards, leather greeting cards. That's how Madico got started. So it was a material distribution company, because I remember that one from the Tinter trivia days.
Yeah, shout out. Cool. Yeah. Leather's a great thing to be starting in the manufacturing process, some craft leather. I always like Madico being this kind of invented word. I guess my dad and my grandfather weren't so creative, so they just had to call it Johnson Window Films.
Hey, man. Yeah, so
good strong American name.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Exactly. It kind of goes in line with the manufactured in the US. And speaking of manufacturing, there's a comment here that's asking, will manufacturing shift to Florida or will Johnson HQ stay in California?
Yeah, so the manufacturing is going to shift to Florida, and that's an aspect that we're really excited about because their equipment is much newer. They have a lot of capabilities that we didn't have, and I think it's something that's really going to be an advantage moving forward for
Yeah.
us.
What happens, like, when so you guys are built to manufacture, what happens to that equipment? Is it going to get sold off or shipped over to California? I mean, to Florida?
Yeah, there is some assets in the process that is going to go to Florida, but for the most part, it's just going to be taken down and sold off, mostly because it was older equipment. And if it
Mm,
was really, and there's just aspects of it that if it was really something great, then it would have been kept. But again, limitations in size,
yeah.
the older aspects of it, and looking at the future was something that we wanted to improve upon, not look to the past.
So if manufacturing is going to Florida, is that mean HQ is going to be in Florida too for Madico? I mean,
Yeah.
Johnson. So are you
Yeah.
moving to Florida too?
So I'm not moving to Florida.
Yeah.
The HQ is going to be Madico's HQ, right?
Okay.
Because it's
Yeah.
it's all within Madico. But the Johnson people are going to be based at the Huntington Beach distribution center, and that's where I'm going to be based. That's where our
Mm.
salespeople are going to be based. So that's kind of the next steps for Johnson Window Films. If you want to see us in person at the office, we'll be moving down to Huntington Beach, which is
Oh,
not
very
a
good.
bad place to be moving to.
I've never been to Huntington Beach. I'd like to go. I've seen it in shows and stuff like that. So I haven't seen. Are we getting some people coming in here? Let's see. What's the name now? Is it changing? Is it Johnson or only? So yeah. So we've addressed this one, but it's gonna stay as Johnson Window Films. Is
Yeah,
that
same boxes, same logo, same name.
yeah? Is that like forever pretty much, or is that at some point? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
Yeah,
it's yeah continuity. That's what.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's staying there. Cool. Yeah, man. So this is a pretty exciting news. With the acquisition here with Johnson and Madico, both blue color, so it's not like really a huge change in terms of like, the colors and stuff like that. So that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
even we were talking about that today. Even the shade of blue is so close that
Yeah.
it's really a very similar blue.
Yeah. Like it's one of those, like if you had to, that kind of would have been like an interesting, if you had to guess the next acquisition based on colors, like you could probably see this one coming. But it was a
Yeah,
shocker though. It was a shocker when it was put out there, even for me too, because like I was like, yeah, I just saw him. Like I feel like I just talked to you. Was it hard keeping that secret under wraps, or how was that like?
I think it wasn't too hard because so few people knew that we were in discussions with them.
Yeah.
That it wasn't too bad, but there was some stuff like you were wanting to talk to me about doing using our
Yeah.
space in the spring, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, I can't commit to anything. So
Yeah.
some conversations came up that I had to be a little cagey on, but for the most part, there to me, nothing was done until it's done and
Yeah.
announced. So it wasn't too hard keeping it to myself.
Was like with a lot of times, like a lot of things like these when business gets sold, sometimes people describe it as it being like a bittersweet moment. It's like it's the end of a chapter, but start of a new one. Was there that feeling from you guys, or was it all sweet for y'all?
No, absolutely. There's some bittersweet elements of it. I think more so for my father than for me.
Mm,
Um, at the same time, I've known a lot of the people that have worked here for a lot of my whole life. We have very long tenured employees, and my dad grew up here, coming down to the factory since he was a kid, really
wow.
too young to be working, sweeping the floors and all that. So I think for my dad, there's a lot of that. He's excited for the next chapter, but also he's gonna be going into retirement. Whereas on my side, I'm really excited for the next chapter and
Yeah.
can't wait to really get going with Madico and see what we can do together. So for me, there's a lot of excitement and really just looking to the future.
Man, I don't know this, and I should know this. Does Madico have any? Because I know they have it like Film Fest. They've done Film Fest, like I think they events and stuff like that. I don't know if they do dealer conferences. Do they? Do you know that if they do?
We haven't gotten into those details on that side. Been more
Yeah,
focused on the
yeah.
integration process and making sure that business continues to operate smoothly. But I'm sure those conversations will come and how we can support it and grow it on that side and what Johnson Window Films can do with them.
Dude, that would be. I think that to me, because what's coming to mind, like just the, of course, it's coming from me. I'm thinking like it'd be cool to have like not a marriage ceremony per se, maybe a different kind of ceremony, but still like a coming together kind of ceremony. I don't know. It's just what I was coming to mind with
Yeah.
that.
Well, you can think of it as the multiple layers of the window film coming together.
Oh, there you go. The lamination of the two companies.
Yeah. Yeah. We just got laminated together in perfect optical
Yeah.
clarity.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Sweet man. I think we covered a lot of this, and we answered a lot of questions here. So if anybody's still watching, if you have any questions for Will here and Johnson's acquisition into Madico's, please speak now or forever hold your peace or comment
Yeah,
later or
throw out some
something.
questions. I know, one other side that I wanted to bring up, just
Yeah.
because this podcast might get to the other side of the pond, is our European operation. And so that's also part of all of
Okay.
this, and it's going to continue to operate. So Johnson Window Films Europe is still going to be there. All the employees there are remaining on, and that's an aspect that Madico is excited about too, because they haven't had.
Uh-oh. We're experiencing a tinterruption here live on a Tinter Battles podcast. Whoa. Seems like somebody did not like the news there. They're interrupting the podcast here. We'll see. Hopefully, we get Will coming in, joining back on this Tinter Battles podcast episode here live on a Tintertainment Network. Man. Oh, man, we got a couple of people here watching. So Johnson gets acquired by Madico Window Films, sending shockwaves throughout the industry as Will Davidson makes it back now to the podcast episode.
Don't know what happened there. Sorry about that.
Interruptions, man. I don't know.
Yeah, interruptions. It'll happen. But so Europe operation is still going to remain, and Madico is excited to bring that on board because they've had sub distributors in Europe, and those will remain as well. If they're listening, they shouldn't worry about any of their side of the business. But it's an exciting part of the tent world that Madico gets to bring on board from our side.
Yeah. So cool. So in the US side and the European side, it's business as usual, even after this acquisition. So nothing to worry about there. The people that are like, what's going to happen to me? You're going to be just fine. You can still call it Johnson. Johnson is still Johnson Window Films. Is they just now have a parent company now, which means extra resources, a couple of movement things. But hey, if anything, it seems like you're going to get your product faster now.
Yeah, I really feel like, from our side and where we look at this in terms of advantages, and as I continue to lead Johnson Window Films, is that this is really going to bring some advantages, and there's not any negatives. The other thing, like, prices aren't changing. Everybody's like, oh, Madico buys them, prices are going to go up. Nope, Johnson Window Films, again, actually, what I was talking about before with the closing of refineries in California and the pressures of manufacturing in California, I see this as a stabilizing of our manufacturing costs, and is really a benefit to us in the future. So also, there's nothing to worry about in that regard.
That's a very good point. So for those like that don't understand the manufacturing process, so when you have new regulations that come out that now maybe there's like added taxes on certain things, that's what actually like sometimes raises the prices on the products, right? Is that?
Yeah, the cost of natural gas in California has gone up so much over the last few years, and we have to run an oxidizer because of the volume that we do, and because of the environmental laws. And to run that, you have to have natural gas put through it to keep it hot enough to burn up the solvents that are going through it. So things on that operation side are really, I think, the marrying of these brands is really going to benefit from that. So it's kind of a real stabilization there.
Yeah.
And again, it's just benefits. And I really would be honest about like, oh, well, this might be a negative. I really don't see any. I think there's a huge opportunity here for this to be benefits across the boards for us.
Well, that means a lot to a lot of people now that you're taking on the lead with Johnson Window Films, and that the enthusiasm from the leader of Johnson Window Films is great and optimistic. So that a lot of the dealers that are current dealers of Johnson Window Films, current customers of Johnson Window Films, can also feel that same optimism and that that Will here is feeling as well, in terms of the future and what the deal means for Johnson down the road, and what the deal means for Madico down the road too. So so there's
Yeah,
really,
and
it's all
I
been
think
positive.
from my side too, as I have this platform, I want people to know that I've always talked about how much I care about the products that go in those boxes, and having my grandfather's name on the box and on the company. And there really is a lot of care and emotion and passion that goes into our side of the business and the products that people rely on us for. And for us, the ability and the knowledge that people on the install side are relying on our products to run their businesses and to feed their families really means a lot to us. And I'm excited that of how this is all going, because I'm still going to have all that passion for my grandfather's name being on the box, and I'm going to really care about what's going in it, and I'm going to put everything that I have into making sure that Johnson Window Films is as strong a window film brand as it can possibly be.
There you go. Said it best here from Will Davidson, third generation window film member, owner, well, now leader of the Johnson window film community within the Madico brand. Who Matt Johnson is a family company, will retain the family vibe to the brand, but will have access to resources of a corporate, much bigger company. So you got to get the best of both worlds now with Johnson. You get the family vibe, but the resources of a big company like Madico. It seems like everything is up and up from here for the future of Johnson and the future of the Johnson and window film dealers as well.
Yeah, we're excited. And of course, any of our customers or tenants out there watching this, if you have questions, concerns, anything, give us a call. We're here for you. We're not going anywhere, and we'll answer all of your questions.
Where can they find you? How do people get a hold of you? Those that may want to, like, hey, I'm interested in Johnson window films and I want to give it a try, or hey, I want to buy some Johnson. Where can they find Johnson?
Yeah. So the easiest way is to just give us a call. Our phone number is 310-631-6672. And our hours on the West Coast, we're open 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. You can also email us at info@johnsonwindowfilms.com. So we'll get back to you there. And you go on our website, and there's a Become a Dealer form for anybody that's interested in becoming a dealer and checking out our products.
There you go. Johnson Window Films, Will Davidson announcing the major headline breaking news: the acquisition of Johnson Window Films, now under the Madico flag. So cool, man. This has been a great show. Is there any other final parting moments, thoughts that you want to leave the viewers with, those who will be watching this?
Carlos, if I gave all my thoughts, we'd be here for another hour. I'm so excited for the next few years with Madico and growing the Johnson brand around the world and having this opportunity to work with everyone there. I just couldn't be more excited, and I can't wait to show everybody this next chapter and what we can do. And I want to thank you for having me on and giving me the chance to talk about this.
No, absolutely. Thanks for the for taking the invitation here, and hopefully we shed a lot of light to a lot of the questions that people were having. We had some live viewers, but there's going to be people that watch this, after the live is over. So hopefully that we helped out with that. Anybody that had any questions, you heard where to reach out to Johnson, or you can even leave a comment on this post as well, or wherever you see this. So cool. Everything's been on the up and up. A lot of enthusiasm going into this major headline news, but everything seems like it's going in the positive direction for Madico, for Johnson, and for the window film industry as a whole. So cool, man. Well, I appreciate you joining on the live here, and we'll be talking soon, and we'll be crossing paths. Hopefully I'll be seeing you at a future shows throughout the, whether SEMA or any other ones, man. Which, by the way, is just one final question. How is that going to work with like a SEMA? Are you guys still going to have like separate booths? Is it going to be under one?
We'll find out soon.
There we go.
But I'm
Be
excited
determined.
for, yeah, all those future shows, and especially Tenor Battles. I'm Johnson Window Films is still going to be a part, and we're excited for it.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's good to hear. Awesome. Cool. Well, have a great night, Will, and we'll be in touch soon. Send my warmest regards to your dad as well, and let him know I said congratulations and squeegee that.
Perfect. Thanks, Carlos. See you
Have
next
a
time,
good one,
man.
bro. See ya. All right, that was the discussion there with Will Davidson from the Johnson Window Films. A major headline breaking news for the news that Madico has acquired Johnson Window Films. So hopefully we got to answer a lot of the questions. Just a quick updates on certain things. Tenor Battles is coming back this year, fall of 2026. We're still working on the final details of releasing that info, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for that. We should be having an update within the next 2 weeks. We are also going to be adding new divisions to the competition lineup. So that is something that we've been getting asked about. Are the belts going to be up for grabs? And it's like, well, there may be new belts. So you're going to have to just wait a second on that so we can release it. And other than that, if you guys are enjoying the content, please share it. The sports awards have been getting released and being sent out to a lot of the people that performed. This was a collaboration there with Tint Wiz. So give me 1 second. Let me kick this thing off real quick. Cool. So yes, the sports awards have been going around, and this was a program that I worked with Eric Devash and Tint Wiz on getting some support for this. Is to highlight a lot of the people that come into the shows, because with especially with Tenor Battles programs, a lot of the guys that compete, a lot of guys walk away winners, even though you don't win the main championship belts and things of that nature. There's a lot more to it. And what we had this year was really, really, really monumental and big. So we wanted to have something to highlight certain memories of people that had either performances or memorable moments that were inspirational to others and deserved recognition. So you guys saw Cedro Rodriguez went out there, Sean G. Tintman, you saw Danny Munoz as well. There's a few that are still out there for that. Mother Marion says, when will you announce location? So I would say within the next 2 weeks, we will be announcing the location. It's not in Texas and it's not in Florida. So that is as much as I can say. But there has been I wish I could say, you know me, Mother Marion. I wish I could say this. Guessing Arizona. Can't say. I can't say. I'm gonna have to say I can't say on that one. But I think that when we do release it, I think that it's going to be pretty big, because not a lot of people go to this area, and there is a lot of representation and tinters in this area. So I would say I'm pretty excited about that. In terms of personally how I feel about it, it's pretty exciting. I'm not in something that we get every single day, and it kind of breaks my heart every single day. No, it doesn't. I feel like, Marion, I feel like we're gonna go into the hot, hot and cold. Nope, it's cold. You're cold. But I was gonna say Alaska. No, not Alaska. That would be pretty cool though. But anyways, no, we get daily messages every single day, because we're still releasing content from the stuff that we got from our previous show. So it's still making its rounds and going across the internet and stuff like that. So Mother Marion, you guys guessed last year when we were supposed to be in Reno. So I'm going to stop giving you hints, because I feel like you're going to unlock this one too. So I'm like, lips are sealed for now. But anyways, God, you made me lose track of my mind here. No, but anyways, we get messages every single day from competitors not competitors, from tenors that are starting to find us online that want to come out to the shows. They want to come and compete. Like literally every single day. It's an email, it's a comment, it's a direct message. So we're very proud to announce this for the fall. And no, it's no. Oh, Marion. So no, it's no, we're very excited to announce this here for the fall. I wish I could say this, and I'm one to keep everything really transparent, but I don't want to announce something and people start making plans, and then it's like, oh, we switched it up on the the last second. So we'll be, as soon as I know, I will find out. By the way, those that are still watching, if you're following the Tenor Battles accounts, we have really, really like bombshell breaking news I'm going to be releasing next week, so stay in tune for that. There's a lot of things that are shifting in the industry. I mean, we just had the conversation with Johnson and Madico in that acquisition. There's other acquisitions that are happening that we will be highlighting as well and breaking those stories, from companies, from individual people separately. So there's some pretty exciting news coming up. So stay tuned for that. If you are not part of our Facebook group on Tinter Battles group, make sure you join that. I share a lot of the behind the scenes with what happens to the Tinter Battles events. So all you got to do is go to Facebook, search Tinter Battles group, join the group, and you'll get access to a lot of information on the back end. So lots of news happening here in the spring, or I guess going into the spring for 2026 in the window film industry and community. Shout out to Sean G. Tentman for getting the House of Representatives to recognize him in his state, which it's a big thing. It's a really, really big thing for Sean G. He actually told me the story about how, during the heat shrink battles, how he wore a shirt that says South Carolina. And he told me like the reason why he was doing it, and it actually worked, because whenever the streams went out there and the videos were getting put out there, it got put in the in the right eyes of the right people in the House of Representative, the Speaker of the House. So he ended up picking him up. So, which obviously helps his business out. It helps his awareness and his presence and everything like that. So that's really cool to see. That's something that we had at the show, although it's a lot of competitions, fun, and entertainment, that it has this kind of effect and impact on people, that end up getting featured and stuff like that. That honestly, for me personally, it's like we are doing something of purpose. We're fulfilling a life purpose. It's really, that's what we're here on this planet to do, is to find our purpose, fulfill it, leave the world a little bit better than when you left it. And with that, Texas Squeegee will be now signing off. So those of you who've been watching, thank you for joining the live on this show. We will be coming back next week. We have a very special guest. Like I said, shocking news is going to come within the next couple of days, and I will be having that person that it involves directly on the live for the following Monday, or the following week. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Monday, actually, but the following week we'll set up a show to give a further breakdown. So thank you everybody for joining the live. This has been Carlos, the Gladstone film sling and Tinder beating, hell raising, trailblazing, the often imitated, never duplicated, the tinted one, the Texas Squeegee. Thank you guys for joining the live, and I'll see you on the next one. Squeegee that.